I'm at Meadows Music Festival. It's day 2. Skye Wallace just got off the stage, and what a show. That was great.
Thank you so much. It was really a good time.
And your band, so excited too. Have you guys been practicing lots or touring lots?
We've toured a lot over the course of our relationship together, I guess. Yeah, we've done we usually do one practice before a show if we haven't been touring or whatever, and just because everybody's so tight and the feeling is there, yeah. So it's we kind of just thrive off of the mutual energy reciprocation. So yeah, it's been really nice to get back to it.
Awesome. Well, you just had your 5th studio album come out in November, so those are rather new songs.
Yeah, a lot of them, and it's cool to. It's funny, we were touring them. Some of them for a year before with a couple of Europe tours and things like that. So they felt really tight by the time they came out. And so it's nice to just be okay, no, they're just in rotation now. So it's been really good. And
the theme, it's death, anxiety, but the death of anxiety.
Sure.
And before the afterlife. Love that song too, because it's kind of I'm dealing with all the shit and trying to understand death and deal with other people's or a pet's death, and then you just kind of have some acceptance in that one.
For sure, yeah. And I think there has to be an element of hope, or just at least acknowledgement of death as the vehicle that moves life forward, it is always present. And I don't know, just right now I'm in kind of a funny mode of transition where I'm I'm pregnant, but I'm also I've experienced a lot of death recently, just with a really good friend and my grandfather, and just it's kind of an interesting, it's obviously you're still going through the motions of grieving and everything, but there's an acceptance of that processing and of that moving through it that is really cathartic. And I think I wanted to do that record because of my own relationship with death changing in that way after my other grandfather's death, where I was present with him when it happened.
Wow.
And it was a really, formative and changing experience. So just it's something so universal, we all experience it, and why not write about it?
Yeah, a great way to deal with it is to kind of get it out on paper, and when you're singing about it, probably just working through it over and over and over, right?
Yeah, for sure. And the release show was a really cool thing too, where it was very art, and it was a big production, whereas my mom's art with she does land art, big sculptures made of she used all this dead material,
and shells,
and sticks, and she makes these giant twisted trees that were signifying death. And this woman from Yellowknife, Cheryl Fennell, who's an awesome Dene artist, she made me a cloak that was inspired by death.
Cool.
And just a lot of really cool things and components that made it just this grand piece unto itself. Yeah, it was very cool.
So work moving forward, because you said you're pregnant.
Yeah.
Is it going to be kind of the opposite of this last album and work your way through this? And is this your first baby?
It is, yeah. And I think thank you. I'm really excited about it, and I'm also I'm really excited to just broach an adaptive, or I guess have an adaptive approach to it all, because I've put off having kids for a long time, with music being as unsustainable of a career path sometimes as it is.
You've made it pretty sustainable though, not jumping up to it doesn't seem like you're rushing to famous, but you're up there and you're maintaining this is 5th studio album.
Yeah,
right?
Totally. And I want it to be a lifelong thing. And I think there was just even though it's not everybody's opinion, there's a lot of opinions of you have to choose one or the other, or you'll drop off the radar if you choose this other path. And so intentionally being no, I'm going to choose it. I'm going to adapt what it is that I'm doing and keep moving forward. And I think that's really powerful. And there's a lot of really cool people who are already doing it and killing it. So the next record is definitely going to be about this process. And I want to experience the things and just write from the heart and be very honest. And so I feel the Death album going into kind of a life album is feels very poignant to me and like very like artistically satisfying. So
It's almost too bad that you can't ask your baby to help you out with this.
I know. Well, like, yeah, it kind of is in a way. Like it's a very funny process, like just the body going through these things.
Well, and
like,
not remembering your own birth or in utero. Right?
Exactly.
So,
yeah, it's so weird, but it's awesome. I'm really stoked. Like I've also had a very blessed experience so far. Like I haven't had any nausea or anything like that.
You were rocking it out up there, and like you've got a belly.
Yeah.
How far along are you?
I'm like 6.5 months.
And so you're doing live shows all summer too?
Yeah, the last festival is a month before our due date.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty like to the wire. But like I don't know, it's just like it feels natural, and so far so good. I don't know.
And going back to like not following a certain way, like even your music, when I listen to your music, it can be, some of it has like that folk feel, some of it is like 90s alternative rock, but then you really just have your own genre, it feels like. I really feel that with
That's
music.
really nice. I mean, it's one of those things where you can shoot yourself in the foot because people don't know where to place you, but it's also like, especially if you want to keep doing it forever, and in like an industry that is changing quite frequently, and we don't know what direction it's going in. I think it's important to just stay true to who you are and whatever it is that you need to like be satisfied and to keep going, and to just like feel as though that you can sustain this thing. I don't know. I think there's something really important too about standing out in, like, we're all in a global market now,
right?
With Spotify and things like that, and it's like the only thing that you can truly do better than anybody else to stand out is be yourself, do your thing, and also just like going outside of what's expected. Like I saw Misha and the Spanks from Alberta. It's like a 2-piece punk band. They're so sick, and she was playing with like full pregnant belly with twins.
Wow.
And like I just like died. It was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. So I don't know. I
thought that when I walked over and was watching you, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's really, the guitar was just resting on your belly and you were rocking it.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, and I also, I have a really supportive group of friends. That's them laughing in the background, actually.
Yeah, that's great.
And just like the people who are in the band, who surround the band, and like the team, everybody's been so supportive and awesome, and like, very, very supportive of like me taking whatever path it is that I want to, or need to, so.
And they're taking it with you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
I'm very blessed.
Well, I'm blessed to have met you today, and thank you so much for taking the time with me, and what a show that was today.
Thank you. My pleasure. This was really nice. Yeah, thank you.